district was it? Story? No, him. He's running the 5th district. Oh, I live there.
District 5 is in the house! There's a man up there! Woo!
Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
You'll have to excuse me a little bit. I've never spoken with one of these things before. Today, America faces a severe economic crisis, and I'm not speaking about the current recession. America faces a crisis that's far worse, that's a lot worse in scope and magnitude, and it's hidden a little bit under the surface. The Congressional Budget Office tells us that our fiscal situation is so bad that in 2036, Social Security simply will not exist. I don't mean that it'll be a problem that needs to be fixed anymore. In 2036, Social Security will be gone. Just gone. Now, for a long time, for my entire life, we've spoken about a looming Social Security crisis. All fiscal crises are always looming. In my entire life, they've always been something that's in the future. Something for other generations to deal with. Something for some generation over yonder, some generation that we don't know, that we haven't met, that we don't see, for them to fix. Hang on, I'm going to wait for the train. Well, I'm here to tell you that that generation is standing before you. That generation is me. Part of the reason that I'm running for Congress here in the Illinois 5th District is because today I am 39 years old. In 2036, I will be 66 years old. That means this fiscal crisis is not something about generations in the future. It's a crisis about me. The fiscal problem is my problem. And I think that for too long we've been fooling ourselves. For too long we've been pushing it into the future. Well, the future is now here. It's me, and I'm right here before you. At the center of this fiscal crisis is Federal Reserve secrecy. We now have a century of data on the Federal Reserve, a century of monetary policy history. And we've always been told that Federal Reserve secrecy is needed to prevent political influence in the monetary supply.
It's a lie! Show us the money! Audit the Fed!
When we look at every other aspect of American life, the environment, foreign policy, national defense, energy, you name it, everyday Americans can make significant contributions. Everyday Americans can know what's going on. Our legislators can openly debate these things, and it doesn't cause any kind of crisis. It's time we ask ourselves, what makes monetary policy different? There's a simple answer, which I'll give you as soon as traffic stops honking. There's a simple answer to what makes monetary policy different than every other challenge that faces America. And that answer is nothing. There's no difference between monetary policy and other topics of government. There's no reason for this secrecy. If you look at the history of the Federal Reserve, and again, we now have almost a century of documented history on Federal Reserve policy, you will see that the Federal Reserve does bow to political pressure. They just don't do it openly. The Federal Reserve responds to the current political climate, yet we the people have no opportunity to influence that debate. And as a result, if you look at the last century of Federal Reserve monetary manipulation, you will see that just by coincidence, it corresponds to a century of the greatest growth in the size and scope of the federal government ever. It has also been accompanied by a 96% devaluation in the dollar. These things are not accidents, and they are not a coincidence.
Theft.
What happens when the part of the government that we can see spends irresponsibly is the part of government we cannot see covers up the mess. It is time that we the people open the books and we saw what there is to see. We cannot fix this crisis if we don't acknowledge the problem, and we don't look at what the problem is. The Federal Reserve has become the enablers of our addiction to government, and we cannot cure that addiction without acknowledging the problem. That's why I'm so happy to see all of you people here. That's why for over a year, as the 5th District Coordinator for Campaign for Liberty, I have been out there collecting petition signatures and getting one of the tiny, extreme minorities of Congressman Mike Quigley to try to sign or co-sponsor the thing. And that's why I've decided that he has just got to be replaced.
Quigley has to go! Quigley has to go!
Mike Quigley won't bring transparency to America, we're going to bring transparency to the 5th Congressional District.
Yes!
Thank you very much.